First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rokah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And a sincere salutation to you, Akim, pushing this truth in sincerity. Now, yesterday at camp, we had brought out some scriptures from Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, that at the time they really hit, in the spirit. So I would like to go over, some of the scriptures, okay? Lord willing, this will be edifying because basically, Israel, okay, which we know are the so-called blacks, the Latinos, and the Native Americans, are in a downtrodden state. You see, not only are they, you know, very sick, but they have no knowledge of who they are. They are so desolate. Okay, but what our people don't know is the Heavenly Father is about to come through and change all that. Okay, and when you read these scriptures, you come to see the same narrative being portrayed. That's how you know through the Spirit that this is speaking about the Israelites. Okay, this is speaking about blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay, because they are the ones that, when you really look at, are in such a deplorable condition that the Bible could only be speaking about them. But our people do not consider, okay, that the Most High is about to change all this. Okay, so I wanted to start here in Jeremiah 30 and 13. 12. For thus saith Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. Okay? And when you go to Isaiah, the first chapter, it says the same thing. It says, why should ye be stricken anymore? And when you go into that word stricken, it means to beat. Okay? Now, what our people don't understand is that the Most High, is punishing them. And the scriptures say, my people know not who smite them. Okay?
Strong's H 5221. Nacha. Nacha.
To strike, smite, hit, beat, slay, kill. To smite, what does it say down here? Chastise, send judgment upon, punish, destroy. To smite, attack, and destroy, conquer, subjugate, ravage. Okay? So why would Israel be beaten anymore, punished anymore? Why would any more judgment be sent upon them? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, the whole heart faint. Okay? They will revolt more and more. And that's what, our people don't seem to understand, that, these things are happening unto them, okay, because they have upset the Most High. And that's why they went into slavery. That's why they're the ones who are the most sick with diseases and are the most beat down, okay, in society. All right, you don't see no other nations living in the ghettos like you do blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. You don't see no other people that were mocked, ridiculed, and just humiliated. Okay, so why would any more punishment, be brought upon them? If they're just going to revolt more and more, they're just going to get worse and worse. This is the whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. And that's right, the whole head is sick. Our people are mentally ill. They're gone. They're lost. Believing all different kinds of doctrines and philosophies and ideologies, never really understanding that the Bible is your rule book, your guide, okay, to salvation. You being sons and daughters of the Most High. The whole heart faint, from the sole of the foot even into the head. There is no soundness in it, right? There's no sound doctrine in our people, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. And our people is just in a no-win situation. There's no way that they're going to be cured and bound up, or or nursed back to health unless the Lord is with them. So back in Jeremiah 30 and 12. So you see these two prophets, Jeremiah and Isaiah, are speaking about the same thing, about a nation of people being being basically likened into people who are ill. Okay, it says, "For thus saith Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines." You see, thou hast no healing medicines. And I'm gonna say this to the spirit. That's interesting, because before you come into the truth, you really don't know about the herbs. A lot of us just relied on going to the doctor. You know, in Esau's medicine. But it says here, thou has no healing medicines. Now, when you come into the truth, the knowledge of being an Israelite, when the Lord comes to wakes you up and starts supping with you, you start to see that the Lord made medicines out of the herbs, out of the earth. You see, so that's interesting. It says, "All thy lovers have forgotten thee; they seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy." And these lovers are speaking about these other nations who are people have made leagues with, and been joined together with, and have loved their culture more than their own. Okay, but they have forgotten them. They don't plead the cause of Israel. Even today, we were going into it, at camp. This nation, this nation, this sinful kingdom that we live in, okay, that is ruled by the wicked elites, of Esau, Edom. They have set up a kingdom to subjugate you Israelites. That's what they've been trying to do from forever. Okay, but thy lovers have forgotten thee; they seek thee not. For I wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. You see, the Most High has wounded you blacks, you Latinos, and you Native Americans as if you were an enemy. It says, with the chastisement of a cruel one, right? Even sending your worst enemy, which is Esau, Edom, against you for the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sins were increased. So it was because of the multitude of iniquities, the sinning, the breaking of the Most High's laws, that you were basically punished and chastised, okay? Because thy sins were increased, right? And that's how the Lord deals. He deals with us as like sons, and a lot of people don't understand. Like I said, the people know not who smite them. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I think it's in my people know not who smite them. Right, the Lord, he corrects by smiting us. By punishing us. Let's see. Let me just move on. I'm not too sure where it's at. Let's just move on. But roughly paraphrasing, the scripture said, my people know not who smite them. Okay. Yeah. Let's go back. It says, because thy sins were increased. Okay. Yeah. And see, you have an enemy, man. You have a cruel enemy, a mortal enemy, which is Esau, Edom. He is, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, mortal enemy, the so-called white man. Okay. And the Lord sent him against you. Okay. For the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. He is the sword of the Most High. Okay. So, the condition that we're in, you see, filling up the prisons, filling up the hospitals and the clinics and the graves, okay, is because we're being punished. And this guy who was ruling over us, the Edomite, is a factor of us not listening to the Most High. 15. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Okay, and our people cry for their affliction. You people always want to, hold up the fist. You know what I'm saying? The black power fist, or want to call brown pride and want to do all these marches and do all these different things, and you crying for your affliction, but you don't understand that it's really the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yashai, that is angry with you, and that it has put you in captivity and has sent a cruel messenger. Okay, has put you in slavery and in chains by these other nations, mainly Esau, Edom, to teach you a lesson. But why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thy iniquity. You see, thy sorrow is incurable, and our people are in a downtrodden state where they see no hope. They're full of sorrow. All right. And it's because of the multitude of the iniquities, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. You see, the Most High has let these things happen. He has done these things. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. Okay, and that's what our people don't understand. That there's an end to the madness. There's an end to this punishment. There's an end to this state of this desolation. Okay. Therefore, all they that devoured thee shall be devoured. All thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. All the adversaries of Israel, every one of them shall go into captivity. All the other nations are going to go into captivity. See, the Lord's going to basically trade places. The nation of Israel is going to be served of them. Okay, of their adversaries, which are these other nations. And this is in the scriptures, man. Okay, this has yet to happen, and I'm going to bring out a scripture to prove that. Okay, Lord willing, it says, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Right? And how were we spoiled? Well, when we went into captivity, we went into slavery, went into chains. Let's look at this word spoil.
Strong's H 7601. Show ace.
Right.
And second entry, chassass.
To plunder, to spoil. Let's look at this word, plunder. Whoops.
Plunder.
It says steal goods from a place or person, typically using force and in time of war of civil disorder. Okay, violent and dishonest acquisition of property. Yeah, they stole the identity of the Israelites. Okay, they stole the land of the Israelites. They took in the holy things from the temple of the Israelites. They have basically took in their identity, all right, and everything they had, and now it's their turn. You're not going to just put some people in chains for 400 or 500 years plus and think that it's not going to return upon your own head. It says, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. You see, and our people were prey, and the other nations, starting with Esau, Edom, were the basically the hunter, the predator. Here it is. You can actually look on social media and find where our people are getting preyed upon, with drugs and with different laws and with the pandemic. Okay, all these things are schemes and plots and plans to keep you under their thumb, to keep you in subjugation, to break your will, to break you down. Okay. They 16, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. All thine adversaries, all thine enemies, you could say, every one of them shall go into captivity. They're going to go into slavery. And they that spoil thee or stole from you and took from you shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Okay. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because they called thee an outcast. Yeah, they said that Israel, okay, was an outcast, that the Lord hated them. The Lord didn't want nothing to do with them. Okay, but the Lord has heard your blasphemies and all the things you've spoken against the children of Israel. Let me get that. That's Ezekiel 35. Salakia. Let's see. Oh yeah, Ezekiel 35 and 12. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Okay? So you're going to know who the Yahweh is, who the God of Israel is. And they know who we are. They know that the God of Israel, the so-called black man, his name is not Jesus. They know he has a Hebrew name. They know that this is an ancient doctrine. And the prophets are basically coming back upon their feet. They're seeing the Bible play out. And they can't understand how we're speaking it exactly how it says. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. That's what they think. They think that Israel, okay, is desolate, that they're through, that they're done, that they were meant to consume us. They were meant to be, that we were meant to be conquered by them. Okay, it was manifest destiny for them to, quote unquote, discover America and call us, Mexicans and blacks and Indians and lie to us and tell us that we weren't the chosen people, and for them to just consume us, to devour us by lies and physically, and physically torture us and maim us and break us as a people. It says, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. So the Lord has heard, has heard you Edomites, you other nations. It says, because they have called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, who no man seeketh after, right? They think that, no one's, looking out for Israel, that there is no God in heaven that has seen and heard the things that have been done unto them. But this is all part of the Lord's movie.
Strong's H 1875. Darash. Darash.
To resort to, seek with care, inquire, require, to resort, to frequent a place, tread a place, to consult, inquire of seek. Right, to seek with the demand, require, to investigate, inquire, to ask for, require, demand. Right, they don't think the Heavenly Father is demanding justice. They think the Heavenly Father has turned a blind eye. Okay. All right. This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents. You see, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents. Let's look at this word, bring again. If it lets me.
Strong's H 7725. Shuv. Shuv.
Right, to turn back to the Most High. The Lord's going to turn back the captivity, man. He's going to turn the Israelites back. He's going to make them go back to the Lord. I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and it have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be built upon her own heap. You see that? The city of Jerusalem, where Jake was taken out of, and where Jake fled into captivity, is going to be built again on her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. Okay, right? The fortress, the citadel, the palace, Jerusalem's going to be built up again, man. Right where it was destroyed, it's going to be built back up in its proper place. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving and the voice of them that make merry. And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. You see? So there's going to be her thanksgiving again, the voice of them that make merry. All right, there's going to be gladness. We're going to be multiplied. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. You see, this is what the Bible is speaking about. This is a future prophecy. This is not happened yet. It says, now check this out, and their nobles shall be of themselves. Okay? The nobles are going to be of themselves, man. The men who are going to be governing and ruling are going to be Israelites. It ain't going to be other nations ruling over, okay, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. It's going to be the righteous. The scriptures say, I shall return thy counselors as at the first. You see? So there's going to be judges, priests, prophets that are going to be of Israel. And it says, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them. Okay? Let me get this. Going back up. Jeremiah 13:8, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. Okay? So the Lord's going to break the yoke from off the neck. And that's what's happening now. Spiritually, we're starting to come back to understanding that we're not slaves, that we're not niggas and spicks and tontos, wetbacks, that we're actually sons and daughters of the Most High. The Lord's he's breaking all this, man. And the strangers, which are these other nations, shall no more serve themselves of Israel, but they shall serve Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. You see? So David's going to be raised up unto us, right? It says, and their nobles shall be of themselves, 21st verse, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them. Okay? So, yeah, man, we're going to have, David back in the midst. And I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me, saith Yahweh, right? And the only men that are going to be able to approach these positions are whom the Lord appoints. King David, the holy apostles and prophets, okay, the elect, they're only going to be put up in governing positions, okay, because the Lord wants them to. The elect is going to be of the nobles. You see, ain't going to be no more creepy Joes and what is this guy out here in Arizona? Joe Arpaio's, and he was the sheriff out here. No, the nobles are going to be of themselves, Israelites.
Strong's H 117. Adir.
Right, kings, nations, gods, great one, majestic one, nobles, chieftains, servants. All right, and you're not going to be able to be in this position unless Yahweh Shemashai calls you into it. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. Behold, the whirlwind of Yahweh goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. You see? Let's see. I wanted to get that whirlwind, but the fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have done it, until he have performed the intents of his heart. Shall not return.
Strong's H 7725. Shuv.
To return
Shuv.
or come or go back. Okay? So the fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have done it. The Lord's not going to execute these things until the second coming. This is a future prophecy. And until he have performed the intents of his heart, in the latter days ye shall consider it. You see? So at that day, at the second coming, is when he's going to perform all the intents of his heart. Every jot, every tittle shall in no wise pass till all be fulfilled. everything from the Bible that is written, the prophecies have to come to pass from the very small to the very great. It says, in the latter days ye shall consider it. And we're considering it now. Okay? That our people are in a downtrodden state. They're sick in the mind, health wise. They're just through. Look at Israel, and it's getting worse. Homelessness is something that I've been seeing so much lately. The drug epidemic, this fentanyl, you know what I mean? And just, it's crazy. It's crazy the how lost our people are. They're, they're so trendy and vain in the worldly possessions, but when it comes to doing spiritual, when it comes to knowing the Most High, they have no knowledge. So they're through. Without an intercessor, they're done, because they've been taught to be wicked by this rulership. Okay, but as you see, the Lord's going to restore health into us, man. He's going to heal the wounds. He's going to heal the minds. Okay, there's going to be joy again. You see, and the elect are going to be the first to receive it. Okay, and all Israel, man. Thus saith the scriptures, man. The Lord's going to turn ungodliness from Jacob. Okay, but this is going to happen in the future. Okay, and the Lord's not going to come back until everything be fulfilled, until the tents of his heart, till it all be done. In the latter days ye shall consider it, and we're considering it now. Those of us who have came back to the understanding and know that, what, there's a reward. This is the story. This is what's really happening. This is what happened to us. Okay, so Lord willing, this was edifying. This is just, a couple things that had came out, and I wanted to run it back. Lord willing, again, it was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rukakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And a sincere salutation to all you Akim and you Akwat out there teaching, learning, and believing in sincerity. Shalom.